All right, boys and girls, we are going to be making peacocks. I love peacocks. I think that they are just a spectacular bird, especially when they open and fan their feathers. Here is a artificial peacock feather that I have, and I just love that at the tip here they call it the eye, and it almost looks like an eye at the end of a peacock feather. So we are going to do kind of an abstract version of a peacock today, but it should be fun. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our peacock body. So I'm going to start with my orange and I'm going to work in the bottom right corner, and I'm going to just do a little triangle for my peacock's beak. When I draw the body, I can have my choice of purple, blue, or green for the peacock's body. This one I think I'm going to do in purple. Right above the beak, I'm going to draw 2 ovals for eyes. And then I'm going to put them all inside of a circle, making the peacock's head. And I can outline and color this in. And then draw its body. Color that all the way in. Oh, before I forget, I need to activate my paints. I'll need my watercolor paints. If I don't have watercolor paints, I can work with food coloring. If working with watercolors, I want to go ahead and I want to drop water in my purple, my blue, and my green paint bubbles as I'm coloring so that they are getting really soft and that color is starting to dissolve into the water. Sorry. Okay, go back to coloring in my peacock's body. All right, I want to make sure my peacock has eyes happening. So inside of those whites, I'm gonna put the blacks so I can see which way that bird is looking. I'm also going to use my black to draw some of these plumes coming off the head. It's just kind of a line with a little curl coming up, and then I like to add some more in there with another color. Again, blue, green, and purple are the colors that I can work with for my peacocks. Now, to create the eye in that feather, what I'm going to do is just draw some circles over to the left in this open space. And just kind of color them in. I guess they're more of an oval shape. And kind of scatter them about. Then I can come in on the inside of them, and I'm going to work with blue, add that center or that eye inside of that feather. Okay, so once we have the drawing done, we're ready to work with our paint or with our food coloring. We have 2 options. So the first one I'm going to do is going to be working with watercolor paint. So the first step is to work with water, and I want the feathers to come off of the bird's body. So I'm going to drop water and kind of frame out around the bird. Now we worked with crayon, and crayon is going to create a wax resist technique, meaning that the watercolor is going to go around our crayon. After I put my drops of water there, I'm going to get some big drops of water on the back ends of all of these eyes. And then I know from experience with it that I need to put a little bit more down here. I want thicker, heavier amount of color down around the bird's body. So just dropping water droplets right on the paper. After this, I'm going to come into my watercolor colors. My bird is purple, so I'm going to use very little bit of purple and kind of keep it away from the bird's body. And again, I'm just dipping in and picking up some droplets and setting them right onto the paper. Because my colors were soaking up the water and activating beforehand, they're going to be nice and dark and vibrant. And you should spread out really well. And then I can come in with some green. And again, I'm putting this paint right on top of the water droplets so that they're easy to spread. Okay, so now that I have my water with the drops of watercolor paint, the next one I'm going to use is my straw, and I need to blow away from the peacock and going across the paper so that I start to fill it with those big, beautiful feathers. And as I look at it, if I notice that there are some empty spots or areas where I feel like I need to fill in with more paint, it is easy to do. I don't like that big white spot there. So again, come in with some water and add my watercolor, kind of filling in some of these spaces. So that we really create the appearance of those feathers coming off of that bird. And if you notice when I'm blowing on this, I'm kind of wiggling and directing the paint with my straw. And getting those feathers to go all the way across the page. This is why I also want to have newspaper underneath so that any of the excess water and watercolor that blow off of there has somewhere to go. I don't want you painting mom and dad's tables or kitchen counters with your watercolors. This one was done with watercolor paints. I have another one that I drew ready to go, and we're going to use food coloring to work with this one. So these are already ready to go, my green and blue. Here's my other glass. I've got about a tablespoon and a half of water in here, and I'm going to make purple. Most food colorings come with red, yellow, blue, and green. So I'm gonna put 3 or 4 drops of blue. Food coloring is very concentrated, so I don't need a lot. And 3 or 4 drops of red into that cup with the water. And I'm ready to start mixing that up and getting those colors ready to go. These are going to be very watery, very liquid, very watered down colors. Same idea though, we want to start with water first. And I'm going to come around my peacock's body and drop my droplets of water around the eye of those feathers. And then I can come in with my color, start dropping it in place, getting the colors. Where I think I'm gonna want them. I really like this blue food coloring. It makes a really cool color. And again, it's going to be like a wax resist. It's going to go around the crayon I've got the majority of my color in place, so let the extra kind of run off towards the edges. Let these dry, and we're good to go. I hope you have fun making your peacocks. Again, you can use watercolors or food coloring or mix them up. Have fun. Make sure you clean up for mom and dad when you are done. Miss you guys.